How we doing, everybody? It's Friday night. We're back on the Sean Atwood channel. It's the Royal Mess. I've had a stressful day. I'm all over the place tonight, so I'm probably going to be chiming in and out. Paula's here. We've got a wonderful guest, Madgie the Black Owl. We're going to be diving into our royals. I'm probably just going to sit back and interject with a sarcastic comment here and there because today's been one of those days, all right? These are the days that I imagine inspired the stress ball. You know those stress balls, right?
Yes.
Like, do you know what annoys me about a stress ball? Is when they're
What?
too strong for you to completely crush with your hand. And now I feel more stressed because I can't defeat the stress ball. Do you see what I mean? Like,
What kind of stretch ball did you find? I find that most of the time I break them.
yeah, okay, yes, okay. So the one, I don't know. I was just trying to have a joke, and now you've pressed me on it. I don't have an answer for you. Okay, so I'm just going to be honest. Okay, I'm just doing open chat show narrative here. When you question that, the whole fucking illusion falls apart, Maggie. Okay, the Hollywood magic falls apart. So look, clearly. We have got a wonderful guest. We've got Paula. We've got more panel members that are going to be dropping in and out. I just want to say thank you to everyone who has been following along with the Diddy stuff. Obviously, we're going to have some stuff to talk about a little bit with Diddy and the Royals. There was some stuff I said with Jaguar. I know that Paula got a question into Jaguar last night, and we'll touch on that just because. All right, we've got and I just want to say the new viewers who perhaps have never seen a Royal Mess. This is another thing that we do, okay? You might have had 75 hours of Diddy content this week, and here we are, something slightly different. Tomorrow night, I'm trialing a show, the Saturday Night Live. We've got some awesome guests booked in. We've got a musical guest. We've got some other familiar faces, some not so familiar faces, and that's starting at 10 o'clock tomorrow night, and it's a whole new type of show for the Sean Atwood channel. From 6 o'clock onwards to 10 o'clock, before that show starts, we've got guests booked in for Illuminati specials, Diddy specials, all that stuff, and I think I'll probably be doing a special daily show at some point, because the boss basically likes to just say, hey, I'm busy, you better watch the ship for the weekend, and I'm like, but I'm very excited because I'm giving you guys all the things that I've been wanting and watched this week, but then we're going to end it all with something that's a little bit new. So, Paula, do you know what it's like? It's weird. We've gone from spending more time together than every day over the last year and a half than I spend with actual friends and family who I love. I love you too, but I literally share blood with, to basically just being like we've gone through a horrible divorce and you've left with the kids, and now I see you want to drop them off. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that's what it's like. I know, and also I know that you're going through a lot, and I'm busting your chops here. Okay, it's not your fault.
I know.
But I miss you, and when you come back and we have a show together, I get really excited because I'm like, yes, spicy. Paula's back. But
I haven't gone. It's just that I'm doing. It's just also, guys, don't forget the time difference, Ron. I mean, you're 8 hours ahead. Like Enti, we're talking to Enti, and Enti lawyer, like he wants to come, but it's right in the middle of the day, and sometimes he has a lot of meetings all the time around.
Oh yeah, I get it.
Meeting of the days, and that's the only thing. Like, for example, if this was at 7 p.m. our time, but then that would be 3 a.m. your time, kind of.
Oh, thing. I get it, but I'm the crazy narcissistic YouTuber who
no.
everyone to be available at any time.
They're gonna try and pop in today. Molly's coming on, so it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Well, I just want to say, Ed T. Lawyer, if you're watching, Ed T. Lawyer, you've stopped answering my emails. It breaks my heart every time I send an email, and you don't. I feel. Do I need to do a fucking courtesy call? Like, do we need a welfare check, or are you just ignoring me? My little heart is breaking a little bit. Please come and see me. Okay, forgive me. Whatever I've done, Auntie, whatever it was, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I love you. Please come back to us. Because I want to talk Diddy, and you've got some fucking, you've got some dirty dishes on that motherfucker, right? You know what I'm saying? The big anti-dishwasher of facts. Just pull some of those dirty boys out and let's go. But excellent, Paula. I've completely forgotten whether or not you concluded your intro, but that's that.
No, I'm doing well. I mean, I'm just taking the thing is that I'm taking my treatments in the morning, really early in the morning, because I had to take them without any breakfast or anything. Yeah. So they do them really, really early in the morning, and then I have to spend a lot of hours there just to check the reaction of the treatment. But as soon as I'm done, I have now only 12 to go.
Well,
So, yay.
can't wait. I just want to make it clear to everyone. For over a year, Paula got up at 4 o'clock in the morning to be ready for a podcast, right? Just because we're buddies, okay? What has stopped her is life-saving treatment that if she did not get, she would no longer exist, probably. So just to put in perspective what it took Paula to be floored.
From going with you, you know, let's put it that literally.
Just to put it in perspective, just because there was a lot of things that were going on in the royal communities. There was lots of suspicions, all of this stuff, and I'm like, oh no. Like she's either been black bagged by the government or she's saving her own life. Okay,
yeah,
so that's what it was. But
we're back. I mean, and you know what's so funny? My voice. They told me with the treatments, my voice changes a little bit. And it changes a lot. And I said to the doctor, I better be speaking like a woman at the end of the treatment because every day, I mean, it gets, like, I don't know.
You might hear it, but there's nothing. There's nothing. Like nah. You
doesn't sound like me.
Nah, I think you're okay.
Following Diddy thing, like I've been watching Diddy. Oh, and I've been watching. You have to come to my channel and we have to do a crime thing because there's this girl that is really stupid. Oh,
right, yeah.
There's a couple. No, I'm not. But this one is really stupid. I mean, she was justifying murdering her parents because, and she's Asian. That really upsets me because she should be smarter than that. She's just so terrible. She's so stupid. I mean,
all right. Speak your mind, Paul. Do you know what I mean? Speak your mind.
She gives Asians a bad name.
I thought we were going to talk about yet another dum-dum thinking that. Let me rephrase that. I thought you were going to mention a specific dum-dum who got led down an alleyway by another dum-dum who is now regretting their dum-dum actions. It's like
she regrets it because she does.
She's a dumbass.
Yeah, of course she regrets it. They caught her.
Yeah, dumbass.
Can you imagine why would they kill you? Why kill your parents? I mean, this is why sometimes when you have some kids.
Now, do you know what?
The Menendez going free. The Menendez going free. You know that they're going to go free.
True crime a second. How about How about we start talking about parallels with the Diddy case? About people using people and there being puppet masters behind the scene, people being sent out to slaughter to protect other people. You think I'm talking about the Diddy case? This is just the royal commentary community at some points, and it's a madness. Okay, it's a madness. They're
all intertwined. They're all intertwined.
Mad. It's mad. You would think that it was.
Oh my God! I am so glad that Jay were answered my question because I really wanted her to answer that.
Yeah. Well, listen, I just want to say welcome, Lady Letitia. Of course, Lady Letitia joins us a lot on the Daily Show. She's got the lashes on point tonight. How are we doing? I heard that you couldn't use the bathroom tonight because your husband's got a podcast in the bathroom tonight. So you're doing the evening session from the Disney bed. If you didn't know, Madgie, Lady Letitia lives in a Bond villain house that looks like it's carved out the side of a mountain. How many pillars do you have in your house, Madgie? How many stone pillars in your fucking house? None, right? Same as me.
0.
Yeah, Letitia has got 47 to pillars. Just pillars everywhere.
He's making all that up.
Pillars on pillars on pillars on pillars. Okay. No, girls got fancy.
You have a dungeon, she have come.
I'm just saying,
you're way too cool, all of you.
Listen. Paul is in her bedroom like a teenager. Okay. Letitia goes in the bathroom. You look like you're in a cupboard, and I'm in the space under the stairs. Okay.
I'm Harry Potter.
I have to be here because if I go outside, then City follows me, and then she gets angry if I sit on the couch and stuff, and then she's nagging me until I come to the bedroom. She's there. She's lying there. I don't know if you can see. That's right there.
I don't believe you. I honestly think that when you walk out that room, you step into a mansion, and this is just your set to make it look like you're a humble lady from South America somewhere. And as soon as you leave that house, you're like, they bought it, and you just put the couture back on, and you're just like, let's go, girl, let's go. Okay, listen, I'm waffling enough. Madgie, welcome. Yes. Welcome. Introduce yourself to our wonderful side chat, our wonderful panel. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and we'll get into some questions before we get onto the topic. So, tell us a little about yourself.
Well, hi everyone. My name is Madgie the Black Owl. I just started a channel about Meghan Markle because I really wanted to talk about her use of the race card and how she used it to create division and really not really showing the real interaction between Black people and how Black people would perceive her. So I really wanted to take off her race card because she keeps on using it to hurt the royal family, and I cannot deal with that when she's the one who is the racist one.
Okay, interesting. A lot of people have that view. A lot of
Yeah.
people that I find that have that view. I mean, are you based? Are you in the UK? No, or are you in the
No,
US?
I'm in Canada. I'm a French
You're in Canada.
Canadian.
Oh wow. Okay, cool. So
Mhm.
for me, being in the UK,
Yeah.
I when I heard that she thought they were racist, I was like, well, yeah, obviously, right? Like the Prince Philip had a reputation
Mhm.
in the UK for. It wasn't like he put on a Nazi uniform and went, doing a whole bunch of craziness.
My
But it
Yeah.
God.
just seems very odd that if you've got 10 people in a line and you're shaking hands with all of them, and the
Mhm.
one black dude and the one Asian dude, you don't shake hands with them, and then you start going shaking hands with the white dudes again. It's stuff like that. It was never like verbal stuff. It was more like we were looking through a culture window back to the 1600s. Do you see what I'm saying? So it was
Yeah.
that sort of racism I could understand,
But
but the way that she framed it, well, no, let me rephrase that. That sort of racism is what we were. That's what I witnessed growing up. There was that, but that was the extent of it. It was always
Mhm.
weird scenarios like that. It was never like Prince Philip once again burns down local corner shop because it is
No,
owned by
no, no.
anything
Mhm.
like that. It was always like that. But none of what Meghan said reflected my views. And I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you. Please continue. Please
Yeah,
continue with
but
who you are and what you're doing.
that's a really good point that you were making because probably those events that you're telling me are really, really old because right now and when Meghan came into the royal family and the
Yeah.
contrary, they were extremely welcoming. And the
Yep.
example that she used, when you listen to her, Meghan Markle
Yep.
likes to use big word, but when you actually ask for example, she doesn't have any. She's
Yep.
gonna
I agree.
say that exactly. She's gonna say that, oh, they ask if my kid would be darker.
Well,
Why would that be an insult?
well, that's the
It's
thing.
only yeah.
It's easy to weaponize though, Maggie, right? So if you and me, if you're a friend of mine and you've got a white husband and you're having a baby, and we as friends or a family sit down and we're like, so, who do you think, what sort of caramel color? Who do you think is going to be more like? Is it going to be more white, more black? Having a conversation like that, you could quite easily go away and say they were asking me about what race my baby's going to be. That's exactly what happened, but it wasn't in a horrible
even
way. Do
even
you see what
between
I mean?
yeah, but even between two black people, if one person is lighter than the other, we're still gonna I'm still gonna ask myself, is my child is gonna be my color, the color of my husband? Is it gonna have my hair or
Sure.
my
Yeah.
nose? Exactly. But her, why she got mad about it is because it reminded her that she was mixed. Because she didn't
Okay.
get mad if they were asked, is your baby gonna be ginger? Is your baby
Yeah.
gonna have blue eyes? She wasn't mad about it. She's only mad when it refers to her possibly having a black kid. Because on the contrary, when you listen to her, she's so happy that Lilibet has blue eyes and it have blonde hair. The only characteristic that actually made her mad was the idea that her kid could look like a black kid.
See, that's interesting because the way that you're saying it there, it's almost like she's taken offense
To the
herself.
idea that she could produce a dark kid. And when you look at Meghan, that's exactly it. All her life, she did everything in her power to look white because Meghan Markle, as a kid, didn't not look white. But she changed her hair, she changed her nose, she probably bleached her skin because she was darker as a kid and then she got lighter. And that's normally not what I see. But anytime someone, because she did so many years forgetting that she was black, at a point that even her agent didn't know that she was black until Black Lives Matter started to become important. So between 2012,
When
2015,
it became a trending topic.
exactly,
Okay.
exactly. And the agent told her that, like, they met in 2007, and the agent didn't know that she was mixed until 2012, when she could go and use Black Lives Matter to make herself the victim. And even then, she didn't really embrace it, which is why her only story as a mixed kid is to talk about the fact that her mom was her nanny. That would mean if her mom is her nanny, was seen as her nanny, that would mean that no one could believe that she could come from a black mother. That's all she's telling us.
Okay, I follow along with what you're saying now. So, see, for me, I'm very uneducated on a lot of things, and black culture, any culture. To be honest, a lot of cultures that I'm very close with. Black culture, even people that are part of LGBTQ, their cultures, a lot of us are just not fully understanding a lot of things. And I asked the question about if you're mixed race, having, being proud of both sides, representing both sides. Why is it is there a stigma on picking one and sticking to it? Can you not be mixed race and be celebrating that on both sides? Do you see what I'm saying? Because that's what I'd be like. I'd be like, do you know what I'm saying?
It's because in America, that's why she's ridiculous when she said that she learned about racism in the UK. The UK doesn't have the same like race history as America. In America, there was the one drop rule, which meant because to continue with slavery, because the master were, sleeping with the slave, that will make mixed kid. So each time they would say, even if you have one drop of black blood, you will stay a slave. So that mentality stayed in America, which means that when you were mixed between in the year 60s, 70s, 80s, they will associate you with black. So for her, that was insulting.
Yeah, I know it's not a competition, right?
It's not a competition.
America, right, has been around a couple of 100 years. Okay, the British Empire, okay, and their slave history is mad, right? It's mad. Okay.
I'm not sure about that because there was no slavery in the UK.
No. In the whole history of the British Empire conquering the world and going around, there was a whole bunch of people that were made to do a bunch of shit they didn't want to do. It might not have been. It might not have been as close. You guys definitely. America wins for modern and being the pinnacle of what not to go back to because it was so recent. But yeah, don't just write off. Don't let Britain get away with that.
It wasn't for that. It was just to say that it stays more in the mind of people 100%. Because I think that in the UK, the sin I would say that stays the most is classism. I think when you are in a certain class in the UK, like it's different. But with America, the racial tension, because we had Jim Crow, and even between black people, we had the comb test and the paperback test, which meant that if you were darker than a paperback, you couldn't enter certain church. And if your hair, if a comb couldn't go through your hair, you couldn't enter certain church, certain society. So that whole like looking paler, it's really important, like in America. So Meghan Markle wanting us to believe that she would be white passing in America is ridiculous. But she did.
I gotta tell you, I didn't know she was black when I first saw her, and they were talking about this Meghan Markle, and I googled her. I thought she was Italian or Latina. She used to call herself Italian because she was freckles. And you know that the high school teacher said, because when they found out that she was engaged to Harry, they interviewed the high school director or whatever you call it, and she said that she was shocked when she saw Doria for the first time at a graduation. She hadn't seen her. She thought that Meghan was Italian, so she was shocked when she saw Doria that she was black, because Meghan never bothered to correct anybody about it.
Exactly. And Meghan Markle, when she went to be 12 years old, 13 years old, she started straightening her hair. I don't know. Do you have picture of her when she's younger? I have a bunch.
Okay, thank you, Paula. I just want to say I'm getting punched in the face by Queenie on Discord right now for saying that the UK has a worse history than America for this stuff.
I am going to correct you there.
Exactly. I agree. I agree.
First of all, the British Empire did not invent racism. Racism has been thousands and thousands of years
I never
prior.
said racism.
And
I
the
just said we had a bad history for slavery.
No,
Okay,
but you don't. Actually, the UK doesn't. Not as bad. Actually, it was Spain and
It's another
Portugal is the one
word.
that started it worse, and then it went to
Colonization.
Spain.
yeah,
Colonization.
colonization then. Okay, let's
Yeah,
call it
that
that.
one.
And then there's the Crusades. You're a Christian or you're not a Christian. Stab,
Yeah.
kill all the men, take all the women. I'm just saying. I'm not letting the UK off.
Wait a minute. The Spanish Empire, I can tell you in Latin America, just in 2013, they found a grave with 10,000 bodies of women that were enslaved by the Spanish. They just add that, that Mexico just got the first female president. And they asked if Spain would apologize, or admit that, in the church, not only the crown, but the church as well, because they tried to impose Christianism here. I don't know how you say it in English. And then, and they killed a bunch of people. And Spain responds, we don't have to deal with people like you. You belong to a tribe anyways. This is just now.
I'll 100%.
Yeah, that's craziness. But if we start doing the colonization, slavery, Olympic, every country has blood on their hand.
Yes.
My point. Yeah, my point with that is just to mean that Meghan Markle acting as if she discovered the concept of slavery when she got to the UK just shows how much she distanced herself from her blackness.
Yeah.
And when you look at the example that she takes as racism, it's only example where people are happy or just remarking on the fact that she has black ancestry.
She was lying. She just flat out lied about the whole, it was in tandem with his skin color. And, on the Oprah interview, it was just a flat out lie. It didn't make sense. It didn't even add up. The whole, they wouldn't let him have a title because of his skin color.
Yeah.
They let you have one, but they're not going to let him have one because of his skin color. He's going to be lighter than you.
Exactly.
Let me just correct myself here quickly, right? So to me, colonization.
Were you Googling the history?
No. I was having some Capri Sun. So to me, colonization is slavery. So that's maybe where my terminology comes from, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying they invented it. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying don't let Britain off with the history they had.
No, but
it's
and collision and with Meghan Markle.
Yeah,
that story has nothing to do with it because she's just using it to attack the UK.
That's it.
Because I just sent you a clip, Ron, on
exactly
WhatsApp.
They divide by race by using racism, using word that have a big impact.
Sorry, I beg your pardon. That was me pushing a button I shouldn't have.
Yeah. Okay.
Listen they never turn me as a black woman. That's that clip. But yeah, for her to say that, which is a lie, because her father wrote an article where he explained that when Meghan was younger and she had an afro, they went to different hair salon because no hair salon wanted to take him with his mixed kid to straighten her hair. Meghan Markle was not a white passing kid. Yes, her teacher that was when she was in high school said that she looked Italian because she was making her hair super straight, and she said that her nose was the nose of her father. But Meghan Markle as a kid, I don't know if I can send you a picture. Meghan Markle as a kid is not a white passing kid. And therefore, I know that she was not treated as a white kid because she was born in the 80s. It's not that easy.
Play that clip. Play that clip so people listen to what that. But for the new subscribers, play that clip, Ron.
Yeah, Roger that.
Obviously, now people are very aware of my race because they made it such an issue when I went to the UK. But before that, most people didn't treat me like a black woman.
Listen to the
So that
captain
talk
voice.
didn't have to happen for me.
That talk didn't need to happen for her. Oh my
Let me just play that one more time.
I remember.
Obviously, now people are very aware of my race because they made it such an issue when I went to the UK. But before that, most people didn't treat me like a black woman.
I'm sorry. What? The way that you were treated here?
Yeah.
What? The Queen literally was like, "You have our approval."
Yeah, gave
be
her a
part
red
of the-
carpet.
Using
She had going for her. That was,
And
you know
let's
what?
remind ourselves that she's mad because they thought that she could pass upon her kid any type of blackness. That's why she's mad. That's why she's calling the UK racist. And because they call her straight out of Compton.
No, they didn't actually. That's not, let me correct
I
you.
know it's an American article.
It was an
It's-
American article that said straight out of Compton. That they were the first one who said that, and that
It's not
article was
racist to
shown.
be from Compton.
No, but she
It's not
thinks it's
racist
offensive. But she does think because for her it's beneath. But it was
because
actually
Compton
and
is a black city.
yeah. But what happened is that the U.S. first said straight out of Compton, and then
Yeah,
the
because of the movie
U.K.
of Ice Cube.
Yeah, but the UK, what they did is look, there's a publication in the United
Mhm.
States who published this article. Basically, they were reproducing the article and saying that this publication, but it was the United Kingdom, and
She
this
was
was
trying to
another
say it
false
was the
narrative.
But it's
UK.
And
not
it is my
racist.
belief. No, it is my
For me,
belief. No, sorry. It is
yeah,
my
yeah,
belief
yeah.
that he was angry with the UK because the UK embraced her being biracial. And she didn't
Exactly.
want them to embrace being biracial. You know
Mm.
that Shalon Lester said, we've talked about Shalon Lester. We've shown clips of her before. She was the editor of Star Magazine and Enquirer and all kinds of things. And Meghan Markle was a source. She said she's gone on the record saying that Meghan Markle was a source. And
Mhm.
back then, they used to put the race in the driver's license, and she had Caucasian. And
Yeah.
she said that she was a source, and Meghan Markle would, when she was an unknown, no, to me, she's a nobody, but she's just more known now. But
Mhm.
when she was an unknown nobody, she would pay 3 PR agencies to be published in articles. But she identified herself as Caucasian.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
and
don't
you know, I
think
just
she
want to
wanted
make a
to
little
be
note about what
considered.
you said, Maggie. The only reason why she wanted to be playing the biracial card is because she couldn't get any jobs as a white woman. In fact, she's on the record saying, I wasn't black enough, I wasn't blonde enough, I wasn't this, so I couldn't get any jobs because she sucked.
I'll
Yeah,
be
I think it's
honest.
more because she sucked
I'll be
than
honest with
that,
you.
and
I'll
because she
be
didn't want to go on black, production. If she had
listen.
gone to, let's say, BET,
Yeah.
would she really not have any role?
Well,
No,
she
it's
wouldn't be
because
able
she.
to.
Well, I'll be honest with you. If I was out with Madgie or Lady Letitia, and someone turned around to me and said they look like they're straight out of Compton, I'd probably knock them out. Because to me, that sounds like they're trying to make some derogatory statement about what Compton represents in the average person's head, which is the 80s. It's the freaking the West Coast, East Coast war battle. It's all of to me, it
Well,
sounds
actually,
like
but the house where
was
Gloria lives is literally in Uptown.
almost
It's
exactly
30 minutes,
first.
30 miles
It-
away from Compton.
Exactly,
No,
it's 20
I
minutes.
get it, but for
And
me,
I'm so sorry. Can just one
yes,
thing?
yeah, of course,
Just
yeah,
to say, do you know the NWA?
yeah.
Okay, the movie Straight Out of Compton
Yeah,
had
yeah.
just came out. It was a pun. It was
Oh,
a
no,
joke.
I
The
fully
movie
get it.
was coming out. Her
Tony
mom
Costner has a house in Compton.
No,
Tony
but
Costner
you're
just
not.
come out and
You're
said he
not.
has a house, right?
You're not
Letitia?
listening.
Like
You're not
this.
listening to my point.
I'm
You're not listening
listening
to
to your
my point.
point.
Okay,
I'm
but
listening
listen,
to your
for
point.
me, hearing that
Yeah.
is different. Sure, if you know them or whatever, and they live half an hour away, whatever. But to me, hearing that, my ears would prick up, and I would be paying attention to the person that said that to somebody who doesn't know you and is, in my opinion, using terminology that could be misinterpreted. No one should be using terminology that could be misinterpreted in a
Calling you
situation.
from a city. Calling you if someone had said, "Oh my God, you look like
Ron
you're almost
sounded
straight
like
out
a
of
white kid.
Hollywood."
I'm just being honest. If I was
No,
out,
no,
if I was
I'm
out,
just like,
protecting
if
me.
you had said almost straight out of Hollywood, would you have been offended? That means that you have preconceived idea about Compton. Because for me, when I read the
maybe.
article, they were clearly talking about the fact that her mom was from this city. She was from Crenshaw. They explained all of it. They explained why they were making that joke. And the
And they actually
movie
meant it
had
as
just
something
came
positive.
out, and the movie was a success.
No,
Why,
but they
if
also meant
someone
it
is
as
always
something positive. They also meant
excuse
it as
me?
something. Look, Harry's dating this girl from Out of Compton, and don't forget what he said.
Exactly.
Spike Lee from
Exactly.
Compton.
Why is it bad
Also,
to be almost straight out of Compton? It's
Right.
only
Why
because
are
it's
you
a black
saying?
city.
Yeah, I get when you're talking about the reference to the movie, it all makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is for my take on it, if it was out of any other situation but that movie, okay, I would be thinking, why are you saying that? Why are you
well,
saying
you know what?
Would you have that reaction if they said the person is almost straight out of Hollywood?
No, but let me just say
No, it's
something.
a
Yeah,
question for
no,
real.
this is
It's a
this is no,
question.
this is actually a really good question. Yeah, I don't know. Ask me more shit that will make me see the errors of my ways.
Exactly, because I'm like, would you be mind if they said you're almost straight out of Belgium? You have a preconceived idea on Compton, like Meghan.
No, I think for me it's
Well, it
more
does hurt
how
Megan.
I think my preconceptions are
Hmm.
picking up on things that people say that they think are clever enough to go under the radar that could have a double meaning. If you see what I'm saying, so maybe
Yeah.
maybe I wouldn't go and punch them in the face, right? Maybe I wouldn't do that.
Well,
But
Serena
somebody,
Williams.
You don't do that.
please, I'm begging, let me finish. So for me, it's something like that being said that would be like, oh, that sounds a bit out of place in my brain. Why is that being said? So it's
Because her
interesting.
mom is from Crenshaw. Like I said, it was explained in the article. People are just reading the headline. And for me, the moment I saw the headline, because the Straight Out of Compton made so much money, it was such a big hit in the United States. So for me, I was like, oh yeah, it's the movie Straight Out of Compton, Ice Cube. I was super excited. And then when
I
I saw
see.
that her mom was from Crenshaw, which is 20 minutes from Compton, of course, why would they not make the joke? It was that's, and the contrary, just a clever author. That's how I see it.
But let me just tell you why it bothered Rachel Meghan Markle. It bothered her because it associated her with the black community. You know that there was, if they had said, "Oh, it's straight out of Beverly Hills," she would have been fine with that.
Yeah, do you
But
know
it's
what?
just
Do you know what? Do you know what? Do you know what?
let me
Exactly.
just tell you
Listen,
something wrong here. Let me just
there's too much shit going on in the side chat. I need to address it. So listen, it's nothing to do with race. It's to do with people. And again, only in the circumstance, if I was out with some of black friends and somebody entered into the conversation and I heard them oversay something like they look like they're out of Compton or whatever, in my head, that's something that they've said to try and be clever that would put them on my radar. In the same way, if it was something that was said about a gay friend, a female friend, a handicapped friend, whatever, okay, it's got nothing to do with that. It's got to just maybe I misspoke on this, but I'm certainly not here to try. I hate everyone equally. I couldn't give a fuck, mate. That's all I'm saying, right?
no, but for Meghan Markle, it wasn't about. Look, and let me just show you this. She did a podcast with Serena Williams.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, people thought I was from Compton." Like she thought that that was derogatory, and that denigrated her. And Serena went, "Well, I'm from Compton." Serena was proud of being red, but you can see. So this is the reason why Harry issued that statement on November 8th, 2016. And then I still to this day don't understand why they said that that headline came from the UK. This is what Meghan wanted to put an end to, that she didn't want to be associated as a black girl to any black part of the community. This is why Harry said that the press is having this racial undertones. But the UK hadn't even published, and not one article had been published. The only article that had been published was by Camilla Tominey saying that seems that Harry has a new girlfriend in Canada. End off. And then I think it was on November 6th or something, there was a little article was put out where it says seems that Prince Harry has a girlfriend straight out of Compton, blah blah blah, and then they talk about the mother Crenshaw. And then when Meghan read that, she was livid because that was not the headline she wanted. She thinks of people from Compton as low class black, that she doesn't want any association with them. This woman hates black community, which is insane, you know.
Yes.
this is why she had Harry put that, because then anybody who tried to say, well, her mom is from Crenshaw and her black roots, look, she didn't invite anybody to her wedding from her black side of the family. I get that maybe she didn't invite the Markles because they're out there, but the black side of the family, not only her mom, So to me, for it was Meghan Markle who was livid. It was not the headline she wanted. What I don't understand is why they blame the UK for that. Because it wasn't. The UK actually started publishing once Harry issued that statement about the racial undertones on November 8th. The UK press is like, what? He's dating somebody? So it went under our radar, because in the US it was published. And after Harry issued that statement, that's when the press started looking for interest and stuff like that. But Meghan doesn't like it. And it's to Meghan that has those bad connotations. And I just want to say something.
Exactly.
Some people were saying it's impossible for Meghan to have been at the Diddy's parties because she only likes white I was gonna say something rude. She only likes
white dudes, right? Well, I'm sure there was a lot of heterosexual men that thought they were only into women that went to these parties too, that ended up doing a lot of things for the price of fame. Do you know what I'm saying? You got to remember that.
No, but the thing is with Diddy, he had a lot of white men. Diddy had a lot of white men. And Meghan, I have it on good authority, when she was a Deal or No Deal girl, she used to go to those parties. She used to go to those parties because she knew that A-listers were at those parties, and she would do anything. And you know what? And like Jay Wright said,
both. Well, here's an interesting one.
Jay Wright said, now that you've talked about race or something like that, I gotta say something, because I remember there was a comment in my thing that said, when I was in Norway, people thought I was Norwegian. I never got those comments. Now that I'm in Nicaragua and I said I'm also Latina, people go, "What do you know? You're from Nicaragua," as though it's something bad. I don't take it that way, because I don't have that complex. I said, well, yeah, I'm fucking right, I am. I don't think of anything bad. They try to make it sound bad. I don't.
Yeah,
you see, I don't have kind of complex, but this is goes to show it's in the person. Like, I wouldn't be insulted if this. Why would I be insulted?
Meghan Markle, the only article that ever referred to her as a kind of black, just the straight up, it was the only article, and she still used it. After that, when she talks about the royal family, like Lady Letitia was saying, she's going to use the race card and say that Archie didn't get a title, and we know that he could have had the Earl of Dumbarton, but she didn't like the Earl of Dumbarton because there was the word dump in it. But no, really, a really intelligent person. So she accused the UK of the royal family of being racist against Archie because he couldn't have the title of prince until King Charles went on the throne. And then now he has the title. But she was saying that it was about race. And that's when she was having that conversation with Oprah about the prince thing, that was the concern about the color of the kid. The concern was, why does he not get a title? But she made it about race. And why does she remember, and is she offended by Archie even kind of, just look at her, how she is when we say that Archie looked like her when she was younger. She looks really sad.
She didn't like that. Remember when Harry said that?
She looks sad. She was like, why do you have brown eyes? But Lilibet, blonde hair, blue eyes. She was like, blue.
She said, I wish I had blue eyes.
Exactly. She is so jealous. And as Black people, I suppose we can understand, especially when we're of a certain age, because the Gen Z generation is really lucky because they had to deal with less racial tension in general. But Meghan Markle was born in the 80s. She was in a good school and she had her afro. Her family was white. Her sister, Samantha Markle, was calling her mother, Doria, the maid. So what does that associate in the head of that mixed kid? That being Black is inferior. So I cannot even really blame her for having such a disdain for her Blackness. I
But
understand where it came from.
Well, her
My
father was
problem
very
is
no,
that
no, no.
she
Her father
is.
was
can I
very
say
positive. No, no,
something?
no. Her father was very positive towards that, and in fact, he encouraged her to do that. In fact, he's the one who wanted to see her family, black side of the family, and he would
Mhm.
go to have Thanksgivings. He was the one doing all of that, like so. For him, it wasn't about that. I mean, for Meghan
I said
Markle not to
Samantha
be proud of
Marco. I said Samantha.
yeah,
Uh,
no, but for
mhm.
her not to be proud of her side, especially the way she portrays herself as always being proud. That Netflix thing where she said, "Oh, where Doria said, oh, you're gonna hear my voice now," and then she's like, "Oh, she was raised by me, by black powerful women," but at the same time, I'm so sad I didn't have that conversation. Like Pidina, we know who Pidina is. That conversation
Yeah.
happened even now. Even now, that conversation happens. I mean, we in the United States,
Right.
in America, it happens everywhere. People have those
It
conversations,
does.
you
Yeah,
know?
for sure.
I'm sure you
But
have the
Now,
conversation, Letitia, with your daughter.
yes, I do. I got to tell her, look, mama's black and daddy's white. And, you need to embrace both. It's both
mhm,
of us. You got to be proud of both sides because
yeah.
you are mixed with both. But she does look, she's more uh, my husband's color than mine,
Damn
but
it.
she's gonna
Damn it.
she's not it's
Damn it.
she's not gonna be, I know. She's not gonna be like, like Megan, denouncing her heritage because Don Lemon was like, Megan didn't, embrace her African American side. She didn't realize, like, the clip you guys just showed with her saying that
Nobody treated me like a black woman.
right before, and so I've never been treated like a black woman before. So Don Lemon was like, so you don't know how it feels to be black, and so it's weird that now all of a sudden when she gets to the UK, she wants to embrace her blackness.
No,
Yeah,
but
Michelle
sincerely,
Williams.
have you seen picture of her younger?
Yeah, we all have, sweetie. We've shown them here. I just want to say something wrong. You know that
Mhm.
nasty hurricane that just destroyed Florida, right?
Yeah.
Meghan Markle, the queen, really embraced that skank because she
She
thought
did.
she was sorry that alleged no I call her a skank, that woman. She thought that woman would bring the royal family back to modern days in the sense of, oh, we have a biracial woman that would bring more unity because we know that the Commonwealth meant the world to the queen, to the point that King Charles, well, now King Charles, created the Queen's Commonwealth Trust to have Harry and Meghan as president and vice president. She thought that Meghan would bring unity and would people, would bring things out. And instead, this woman has created so much division and hatred between the races. The chasm between the races has never been wider, especially in 2021 after she did that thing in that Oprah thing. I mean, Barbados, Jamaica, the entire black side of the Commonwealth, which is quite a few countries, but mostly the Caribbean. The headlines were brutal, and this woman did it on purpose. She wanted to create division. And
Yes.
she needed to do
Oh
that
yeah.
because just to become a victim. But isn't it sad how the queen, the only thing she had going for, because her character and everything about her is so skanky, that they, she would have been accepted had been a white girl. I can tell you that because she had too much
Yeah, for
past.
sure.
But because she was biracial, they were willing to look the other way about
Yeah.
all the dick shit eaten before and stuff like that. So they were willing to look past because she's gonna get a fresh start and she's gonna embrace and we're gonna put them in the Commonwealth and. But because the queen wrongly assumed that she was black and she would have that kind of
She
experience that
was
most
proud
black
because she
people have
is
in
mixed.
America. But instead, she divided everything. She was like this hurricane in Florida that destroyed everything in her
Yes,
path.
She
You
she
used
know,
the
sure
race
did.
card, and that's why
Yeah.
it's important that she be seen as a racist, because a racist cannot be using the race card to hurt other people.
Well, I
Like
believe
for
too,
her,
Black Owl, that that's her downfall. I believe that ended her popularity, even though other things have been like dictator and hills. But I believe when she went on that Oprah show and said that about racism, that did it for me. That's what made me get my channel, was the fact that she went on there lying about the racism. And and again, it didn't make sense. But to me, that she divided, and not just divided, but she lied about it. And people are seeing that now, I believe.
People are starting to see
there's some idiots who still support this woman.
Hang on one second. Lee, come back to the channel tomorrow, mate. We're doing a whole night of stuff like that. This is literally the 2 hours of the week, right, where we talk about the royal family. The rest of the 60 hours of content is all up your street, mate. I understand. I just want to say as well, we're going to spend maybe another 5 minutes on this so that I'm not walking through what I can only describe as a side chat minefield, because apparently I'm a white savior, right? Apparently, if someone said that they were from the east coast of Chicago, I think it would be insulting on all this stuff, because obviously you didn't get my point. Okay, I'm just saying. But I'll be honest with you.
Nobody's trashing you.
No, it's okay. I'm a big boy. I'm a big boy. I'm a big boy. Okay.
Who's trashing you?
No one's trashing you. Just relax. So all I'm saying is, if I ever seen somebody saying something about a friend of mine who was black, I'm not going to say something or mention it to them because I'm a white savior. Fuck that shit, right? If someone's been a dick and they're saying something in a way, so I tell you what, in the analogy that, and I'm going to be quiet about this. In the analogy I created, hearing somebody whisper something about a group of people, to me, is something I would pick up on. So it's not anything about that. Okay. So we're gonna stop stressing Ron out. Okay.
I understand, Ron, that you would protect me if someone said something racial about me, that you would definitely defend me.
Well, it wouldn't even be racial. It's just like, if you turn around and say, look, let me give you an Edinburgh version. If somebody turned around and said, oh, those girls look like they're from Niddrie or Muirhouse, that would have a certain, that's like the lower end parts of my city where there's a lot of things going on in those parts of the city. I'd be like, well, what do you mean by that? That's the only reason I would say it to everyone that's freaking out. That was my analogy.
Let me say something. Isn't it amazing that Meghan Markle is proud to call herself a Soho House hoe?
I mean, I don't know if she says it like that. I'll be honest.
Well,
I can't imagine.
We know what Soho House is about, and she's proud. She even decorated the Frogmore House, a colonial style old building that's beautiful. She brought the designer from Soho House. That's how much she misses her Hotel Predator days. I guess she's comfortable with that. And let's play the thing with Jay Were Right, because I really want to talk about this.
Yeah, but Latifa, I just wanted to say that's really interesting what you're saying about the Oprah interview making you realize the problem with her, because for me it was the Netflix documentary when she started calling her mom her nanny.
Yeah, it was disturbing. It disturbed me. It still does. And then they even got on there the next day and Oprah was like, the big bombshell for me was, and then months later she goes on and says, well, it wasn't a bombshell for me. I mean, yes, you did. You said it was a bombshell for you that she brought out the race issue. That was a big one for you on the interview, but you lied. So,
but Oprah was race baiting the hell out of
Yes, she was. She wanted Harry to tell the story.
Can I just ask anyone in the side chat? We've been having issues all day with the side chat. There's a bug that was during the Daily Show. Queenie's just said that she's not coming up in the side chat. Mods, can you just check to see if when Queenie types, if there's any alerts coming up saying Queenie is being timed out? Because like 3 people got timed out for no reason during the Daily Show. So I wonder if Queenie's been timed out or something.
Depends on how. No. Depends on how you have the what you might call it. Because if you have automatic censor or controlling the messages or something like that,
no. It's not that. Okay, it's not that. It's something weird that's been going on all day. I can't remember. The mods explained it really well earlier, but it's just been weird. Hers has been on it for a while. Okay, Shane, can you go in the back end Queenie, can you send a direct link to your YouTube channel to Shane on Discord? And Shane, can you go into the back end, into the settings, into channel manager, and then look to see if Queenie's been banned for some reason? Go on and have a wee look for me, bro, if you don't mind. Thanks very much. Queenie, if you can DM him, that'd be wonderful. Also, whilst I'm actually able to say anything, because these lovely ladies have been absolutely killing it since we started, please like and share. Please push this out. I just want to say as well, Madgie, your ability to speak and your knowledge and your intelligence does not meet the level of your camera quality. Like, I totally underestimated you. Like, I totally underestimated you when you came in. I was like, all right, okay, we've got some 360p shit going on here. I don't know what's going to happen here, but my God, you are up there with some of the most knowledgeable people that we've had on the panel.
Thank you so much.
It's great. And again, there's a lot of things that you've been all talking about that it's hard for me to understand and relate to, and I think we've all learned something tonight so far. But let's now just turn the ship a little bit, because Ron wants to get involved because he's a chatty boy. So, Madgie, you're new. Let's talk to you. Let's pick on you for a minute.
Okay.
Before we start, I just want to say something really interesting, because somebody brought it up.
Okay.
That
Everything you say is
you know, the new house to Portugal with Harry and Meghan. You know that Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, now they're looking at moving to Portugal amid the Diddy thing.
No way.
Everybody's planning on leaving to Europe because of Diddy done.
Yeah, no shit. And you know what? That's a fantastic segue, Paula. It was almost like you read my mind. So let's touch on Diddy for a bit. So first of all, Madge, set the stage on where you're, not even just with the royal family. Give me your pitch on where you're at with the whole Diddy case, where you feel you're at with it. Because I like to ask this because Letitia, God bless her, she is very much our sheltered from the realities of the child murdering cabal that run the world. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You're possibly on the same level as Letitia. So let me know where you're at with that. Give us your pitch on or your take, sorry, on the whole Diddy case, and then we'll narrow it down into the royals.
Well, I think that Diddy did everything that anyone said. I believe most of what Jaguar Wright is saying. And I don't like the fact that, let's say, Black Lives Matter, they would come out when a white person does something to black people, but P. Diddy was targeting a lot of black women and also a lot of other type of women and men. But he did where is Black Lives Matter? So we're all black.
It's funny you say that. We had Jaguar Wright on the podcast last night, and she said literally word for word exactly what you just said. Where are Black Lives Matter? Do you see what I mean?
It
wasn't until you just said it that what she said clicked into place in my head, and it's right. I mean, that is right? I mean,
that's true.
It's interesting.
We only need to be protected from white people. See, is that all? So when we do something to each other, that's fine. Like he hurt so many black person. If they only want to look at, let's say, at the black angle, that man, like R. Kelly, him, and a bunch of other Hollywoods, like, okay, they are hurting the black community. They are even hurting the black community image because P. Diddy was one of our superstar. Where is Black Lives Matter?
Yeah,
that's what I really think when I look at the Diddy thing, because I absolutely believe that Diddy did he do it? He absolutely did it. That's how I feel.
I'm gonna ask you something, and maybe this is a loaded question. So we all kind of agree that Jaguar's got a very unique take, and I think a lot of us believe what she's saying. She last night said that the whole industry is corrupt. You cannot get to that level of fame without paying the price.
I believe.
Do we not have a certain member who left Hollywood in our royal narrative, who his daughter went on to try and be in suits and things like this? Because it seems to me that if the whole industry is corrupt, was there something seen? Was people's careers cut short because they didn't want to bear witness to it? Is there levels? Was daytime TV, was it not as heavily corrupted? I don't know, but Jaguar made it clear that she felt like you cannot get to a certain level of fame. And Madgie, do you not feel like Can I ask a question? Can I ask how old you are? A ballpark figure of how old you are? Like,
I'm 34.
Okay, so growing up, 90s, right?
Mhm.
90s kid, right? Right. No, yeah, really young. So in the early 90s, was it you must have seen movies and seen bands and all this stuff, and then they just fucking drop off the face of the earth. It's like they get one really good movie or one really good album, and then they are just outcast. And
Yeah.
it seems to me that we could build a list of people who have, seen something, been offered something, stepped back from it and started to speak out. The Cat Williamses, the Jaguars, all these people.
Mm-hmm.
So my question to you, do you think that Diddy is a small fruit that has been sacrificed to save the bigger evil monsters at play here? Do you believe in the bigger picture? Some people call it conspiracies. I call it conspirafact. I call it the evil cabal, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I do believe that. I do believe that because it's like with Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
So, except if anyone believed that he really himself, and the only person that is associated with him is Prince Andrew. It's like they gave Prince Andrew as a sacrifice to say they're a high level person. And Diddy, I feel it's going to be the same thing. It's either going to be him giving one person or him just. That's what I feel.
That's the thing. And you know what? I think it's very interesting how every single day we're given new Scooby snacks of headlines about Diddy. I've never seen anything like it. Usually people are scraping the bottom of the barrel for headlines. This time around, it's like, boom, 6 people. This person's spoken out. 1,000 bottles of freaking lubricant. Update on that story and all this stuff. And it just seems like it's just odd.
It's a really odd thing. I wouldn't be surprised if anything that Jaguar's rights say it comes true. Nothing will surprise me because everything that she's been saying did come true. And I even went to watch the movie that she recommended, like Blink Twice. To see what she meant by that, and I'm like,
dude, that is. Do you know what's nuts? Blink Twice has been out since the start of August. And I had to be told on a fucking TikTok clip by Jaguar Wright about this movie. I think she was like, you need to see Blink Twice. Big shout out to the lady that directed and starred in it. And then she was, I was saying this, Jaguar Wright could spend the rest of her life taking acting roles where the main part of her character is looking into the camera and then decisively saying something, right? Because I'm telling you now, she's got that typed out. She has got that, I'm going to slowly release this and then end it with a snap. She's nailed it. So we actually had a community movie night, and watched Blink Twice. And holy shit, because in your head, you know what you're going into. You expect it to be like all the other ones where they focus on the abuse and it's horrible. Whereas this time it was emphasized on the chemicals. It was the selling point of the forgetfulness. And when they were remembering the horrible stuff, it was done in a way where it was in between horrible things happening, but you knew what had happened. It was a very clever movie.
Yes, it was. It helped me understand what Jaguar Wright was talking about and even those people that keep on saying, oh, I was drugged. And then, because I've never been drugged like that, which thank God, but just waking up and not remembering anything and then continuing your life, but your body remembers, you can feel it in your body. It's like, wow.
Yeah, and keep in mind as well, there's a documentary on YouTube by Vice called "The Most Dangerous Drug in the World" about scopamine. And scopamine is from a tree, from a seed inside a pod, inside a flower, blah, blah, blah. And if I was to put you under the effects of scopamine, Madgie, I could tell you're going to go to the bank, empty your bank account. I'm going to pull a truck round outside your house. You're going to load all your belongings into it, and you become a slave. And you will wake up and remember nothing. And one of the famous stories was a guy, his doorman was just held the door open while 6 people emptied this guy's house out because he had told them that he was moving. And woke up the next day in an empty house and went downstairs and said, where the hell's all my stuff? And they explained it and showed him the cameras, and he'd been scopamine. So that exists and has done for a while. Do you see what I mean? You don't even have to go down the fancy road of, GHBs and all this stuff. This has been around for ages. The only problem is, if you fuck it up, Madge, if you fuck it up a little bit, everybody dies. Okay, like it's have you ever seen a lethal dose of fentanyl? Like, have you ever seen what is a lethal dose? Imagine 4 grains of sand, right? That's basically what a lethal dose of fentanyl looks like. It's kind of the same. It's kind of the same with scopamine, and it's like, you need to watch the documentary. It's amazing. It will put it in perspective how. So, for example, if I know that I can keep you unconscious, I could just keep you unconscious until your body's recovered, and then you wake up a week later, and there's a doctor there to explain that everything's fine and you're okay. And it's that level of sick secret that is the bigger rush for these people. Knowing, do you know this? You know, Madge has been here 7 times and thinks this is her first time. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, when we saw like the ending, when we see that she sees the picture of herself, I was like,
oh yeah, I completely got the ending wrong, and Discord went bananas because I was watching the chat and trying to watch bad bandwidths and all this kind of stuff. So I'm going to rewatch it. I highly recommend all of you go on Amazon and just pay the rental fee or buy it, because it's a big suppressed one, and it is a beautifully put together narrative of all of this. It's about it's about a billionaire who buys an island so that him and all his friends can have parties where everyone dresses in white and everyone has a great time and drinks the best food. But sometimes you don't remember things, and then sometimes you don't wear the perfume, which is to really tell the story of skin absorbing, which is it's just amazing. I mean, it's just amazing. This isn't what it's about. It's got to the point where Paula
are you
is like,
not starting to be scared of
scrolling on TikTok? She's like, fucking, they're talking about a movie I've not fucking seen. No.
But sincerely, is no one scared of billionaire with island now? Like, anytime someone said that they have an island, I'm just scared of them. I'm like, why do you have an island?
Listen, I'm a product of comic books and DC. I'm still hoping that there's a couple of billionaires out there who've built super cool vigilante islands that if anyone else gets too out of sorts, they can like send the rockets out. And that's what the UFOs are. They're hunting down the PDF files and all this stuff. I hold on to that hope. I believe in fairies and the Loch Ness Monster. I believe in all that shit. So I got to hold out hope. But billionaires and millions, to put it this way, if I was a billionaire and all the billionaires in the newspapers with islands were PDF files, I'd probably hold off buying an island just a little bit.
Exactly. A tiny bit, yeah.
And if I was going to buy one, I'd buy one big enough that everyone from the land could see what was going on. Yes. And I'd have a big sign that says, hey, everything's fine. Nothing going on here. Welfare checks welcome. Do you know what I'm saying? Because of the connotations. Yes. Do you know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying. But Paula, I apologize. That was just me rambling.
No, go for it. I'm listening. But listen, play the clip. I want to listen to the clip.
Which clip? Oh, hang on.
¿Cuál otro?
Oh, the Jaguar clip. Oh, yeah, I was meant to have. You're going to have to talk. You're going to have to just talk while I pretend like I hadn't forgotten to load that up. So you just talk for a minute.
No. I mean, this is insane that this woman, you know who I wonder if he was part of it is Albert of Monaco, because that guy is a perv. You know, so I wonder if Albert of Monaco was there. Andrew was there. She clearly stated that Prince Andrew was there. I don't think Prince Andrew can take another hit. You know, I don't think he can take another hit. But the funny thing is that Andrew never gave me that vibe of liking young women, because all the girlfriends he had are like age appropriate, to tell you the truth, you know. And there was this thing where he went to Mexico, someplace like that, with Jeffrey, and he was hitting on this doctor, you know, and she's like around his age, and so it just doesn't, you know, he doesn't give me that vibe. You know, he's a perv. Yeah, and I'm sure that if they put a young woman right there and she's willing to put out, I am sure he, you know, he would take it. But I don't think that he's that interested, you know. But I don't know. I could be wrong. But it's very. I wonder what the Diddy connection is to Epstein. I wonder the Diddy connection, because he was very buddies with Epstein and Weinstein.
We've got a show about that tomorrow, actually.
Oh, wow. Okay, so the 3 of them are connected. That's great.
Absolutely.
We've got a show tomorrow night.
Weinstein, and Weinstein was very good buddies with Epstein. I mean, they're all connected. Oprah, Tyler Perry, all those people. I mean, Oprah belongs in jail, period. I mean, that thing, this one, she is an equal opportunity person because she likes to call friends all these predator of different races, like John of
Yeah.
God, like Weinstein, Bill Cosby, um, and she was so proud of Diddy. And what really bothers me, Ron, is that everybody knew what was happening. And then they're acting all shocked and they're all running like crazy. Ashton Kutcher trying to move to Europe, Harry now buying Harry having his father pay for a house in Portugal.
Nothing suspicious about Portugal either, by the way. I just want to say, again, if I was picking somewhere to go to and my uncle was a crazy alleged individual who doesn't sweat, I wouldn't be going anywhere near I wouldn't be owning property within 2 countries of the Podestas. That's all I'm saying.
Didn't Madeleine McCann disappear in Portugal?
Yeah. Can I just say something? Thank you all for being here. Can you like and share? It would really help me. Also, Paula, when you say have I played the video, is it the one of the dudes surfing?
No.
Well, what is that you've sent me?
I'll send you the clip.
No. Listen, please listen. I've got watch the footage of Meghan Markle and Liam Payne. I've got that one.
The guy is.
And then I've got the Meghan Markle with no bottom teeth bin, and then I've got a freaking video of a dude surfing with another dude.
Oh yeah, no, I want you to play that. But before we enter into the Diddy, this is fun because you know how Harry did a surfing thing. He posted a surfing video. This is a man-made pool. It's a pool.
This looks freaking awesome. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my god, it's a man-made pool. That's Doja Cat.
That is not Doja Cat. That is a middle-aged man.
No, go play the fucking thing. That's Doja Cat.
That is a 14-year-old white boy. Okay, Doja Cat. That is not. Do you know who Doja Cat is?
That is her.
That is definitely a 14-year-old white boy. Surely that's not Doja Cat. Hang on a second.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But the point that we're trying to make, these waves are easy to ride because these are not ocean. They can even control.
Wait.
It's just a long pool. They can control the speed of the wave, the height of the wave. It's not like you don't need to paddle because you're not looking for the wave. The wave is there already.
Okay,
it's
listen,
a farm.
I'm really confused, right? Doja Cat's a black woman, right?
She's mixed.
Okay, but at one point, right? Because I'm just looking at a picture right now, okay? And this is a white woman, okay? So I remember Doja Cat being, if you're saying she's mixed race, 100%. Like she was always very, olive skin, like dark but not super dark. You could tell she was a mixed race. Like, what is going on with this?
Probably she was putting a little bronzer. That's her color. That's her color. A lot of mixed people.
Okay,
a lot of mixed people are light. I think maybe people are putting a lot of emphasis of being light, but there's also the trait. Doja Cat doesn't look white. It's not because of her color. It's because of her trait. Okay, that she's blackfishing. What is going on?
Because that's the Doja. Because that's all of my impression of Doja Cat.
Just like Meghan Markle right now with her orange face.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes they put on too much bronzer, but she's really light.
That is. See, I'm not being funny. If I did that, people would lose their shit. They would lose their freaking minds. Okay, that is because that is a couple of. I mean, that is Ross from Friends. That's Ross from Friends getting the 8 2s or whatever it was when he got the spray tan. Okay,
yeah,
that is mad. Okay, so again, just in case anyone's like in the side chat, you can see how I got that semi wrong. Because damn,
no, that's understandable. But most of it, she doesn't appear like that most of the time.
You haven't seen the video that Harry put out about surfing, right?
Mm-hmm.
You haven't, right?
No, I've not. But this looks freaking awesome.
Show my Twitter. I'm sharing a screen with you.
Okay.
This is Prince Harry. He showed this thing today.
Oh yeah.
Him. This is not. People are going, oh my god, he's surfing. This is the easiest kind of wave that you can do. Let me see if I can do this.
Listen, I'm sorry. If I was Harry, I would be being so pleased with myself that I managed to do that for a start. I'd be milking it. I would be milking it. So carry on, Paula. Bust his chops. Go on, tear him down.
This is the easiest thing. I mean, this is why I showed you Doja Cat thing. They even have a dog doing it. The reason why, yeah, there's a dog. This is a surf farm, which is anti-environmental. This is a huge pool that they do. They manufacture
Yeah.
these waves, and people are going, "Oh my God, look, he just jumps on the wave." The wave is man-made.
All
So
right, Paula, I set you a challenge then. You guys get the Sean Atwood channel, right, to 1 million subscribers by the end of this year, and Paula and I will go to this place and we'll see how damn easy it is, Paula. How about that?
I actually know how to surf.
Oh yeah.
I do. I mean, I'm not an expert, but we have waves here, like, and I have the reason why you have to paddle for waves is because you're not waiting for the waves. The waves are not man-made. So you have to paddle for it.
Yeah.
And it's not the same type of wave because the wave moves. I know it sounds weird, but people who know how to surf, they will understand when I say that the wave moves inside and then it closes quicker. Here, the wave never crushes unless they want it to crush, and they have this perfect circle, which you never get when you're doing proper surfing, and the water is very rough underneath. Here the water is smooth. This is why they're able to stand like that, so because trust me, when you're standing on a wave, there's a lot of water of movement. That's where you have
did I mention that you're going to be dressed as ketchup and I'm going to be dressed as mustard?
I don't have a problem with that. I do not have a problem with that.
Well, that's to 1 million subs and I'll get footage of Paula trying to do this.
But and this is look at this is William. William
so hot.
is on the ocean.
He's just a massive toddler. He really is. Like, did you see that footage of him on the scooter, like riding into Buckingham Palace on his little electric scooter? He's brilliant. This is the king I want. I dance to Taylor Swift like nobody else is watching me. I know my kids are safe because I'm in the VIP, but I ain't paying attention right now because I'm swifting out. That's the king I want.
These are the pools, Dan. See, these are the pools.
Oh, yes.
So they're absolutely man-made and controlled. So this is why it doesn't feel rough because the water is so smooth underneath. So this is why you're able to stand in proper ocean. The water is moving underneath. This is why it's really tough to to keep the balance because the water is like this, moving constantly, and then the wave is coming down depending on how it's going. Here, the waves are controlled, so the water is.
I'll be honest with you, Paula. You're better than this. You shouldn't be. Listen. Harry going out to sea on his own to try and surf. That's like saying to somebody watching their 10-year-old son at this place and criticizing them. You can't send Harry out to sea by himself.
Well, why not?
What do you mean? Exactly. Look at how hot he is. Thank you. Continue.
You tell Harry to paddle into the waves, he will realize he's not stopped paddling for like 8 miles, be out in no man's land and get freaking lost. Do you know what I'm saying? Listen, Harry needs to be in the toddler pool with the freaking armbands on, heavily freaking monitored, because I'm telling you now, the last thing we need is Harry with Meghan on a beach alone where accidents can happen, right? You know what I'm saying?
No, but even the king, Charles used to surf open ocean.
Yeah, that's because he's a badass. This is Harry. This is the guy who went to Afghanistan and played Xbox.
That's the man who cried because his brother broke his necklace.
Oh, God, you know what?
This is the clip I wanted to show you. This is the clip I wanted to show you of Jawa Right.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Are we ready to play?
Yes, please.
Psychopaths rise to the top. So a common question that's coming in for you, and Paula M's asked this as well, shout out to Paula M, about the UK royal family, if any of them were ever involved in these alleged activities.
Well, allegedly, everyone has seen multiple pictures with Harry and Meghan. And considering their close ties to Oprah and Oprah's close ties to Ellen and Ellen's close ties to the Diddler and all of those parties that they attended, and considering that when they defected the royal apartments and they were forced to step away from their birthright, it was Tyler Perry who hosted them, which we also know has now been linked to the Diddy parties. It's really not going to age well for anyone. There's a lot there. There's too much there. And even the uncle, with his connection to Epstein, he dated a lot of video girls and video models who either made their way through the Rock Nation camp or the bad boy camp. Like, it's, you see what I'm saying? It's unfortunate. I'm just glad the queen is resting, because if she was still alive now, I think this would have killed her anyway.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like David Icke told us all, the psychopath.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, what do you make of that? And I mean,
just before we just get your answer there, I just want to say, can we put some hearts in the side chat? My wonderful fiance Dan is watching at home. We're expecting a baby in 8 weeks, little baby Nova, and she's watching. So can we put some positive vibes in the side chat for her? Big shout out to you, love you a lot, sweetheart. But yeah, Madgie, give us your take on that segment from Jag's interview.
I agree that it's good that the late queen is resting now. She doesn't deserve to continue to see what will happen to her grandson.
Well, is there a possibility that she knew what her grandson was like?
I don't think so.
I think they protected her a lot, and I think, like, who is going to really talk about their sex life with their grandmother?
Nobody.
Diddy.
No. Yeah, but Diddy is not normal. Diddy is not normal.
That woman, that Diddy's mom, to me, she should be in jail. She looks shady. I mean, I just want to say something, because Jaguar talked about Ellen DeGeneres and stuff like that in the white parties, because they're all dressed white. She was always going to his white party. She was always dressed in white. And isn't it funny how Ellen DeGeneres now is pretending to be very good friends with Meghan Markle? And whatchamacallit, and with Harry and Oprah and Tyler Perry, and they were at the birthday of Tyler Perry.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have to pay your flesh there.
Do you know, I think Jaguar is one of these people. It's like when you listen to or you watch Pink Floyd's The Wall, every time you re-watch it, you see something you've missed, or you learn, you see like you read in between the lines of something you've missed. It's clever the way that she delivers information, because you can tell for years she's had to learn to limit how she can say things for legal reasons, to not play into their hands, because at the end of the day, if she went out and said a whole bunch of other things, they're not going to go after her. They're going to go after the platforms. And it's going to get to the point where people won't want to platform her. So she's got a very clever way of putting over information in a way that gives you just enough to keep everyone safe. And I freaking love it, man. Like, if you'd seen me in the little bit down at the bottom there last night during it, when we're doing the production, I was losing my shit. You know, when she talked about the judge that she was hired to go and film and be a dominatrix for, and he's getting whipped by her after this and saying, you know, I've just put an innocent man in jail, hit me harder, all this. This is a dark, dark world, people, you know, and for a lot of people, they write it off as too far-fetched. And that has been the successful weapon that this industry has used for years. So just remember, always sort of take on board the points of view, even if you disagree with them or they're too far-fetched, and maybe spend half an hour one day, a cup of coffee, go and have a wee look online yourself and see what you come up with, because it's always better to persuade yourself of something than be persuaded, if that makes sense.
I just think that people, you know what really bothers me? That people know, and I can't. Molly, come on, join us. I sent you the link, Molly.
Thank you, Molly. Appreciate the support. Thank you to everyone who's donated tonight. Thank you.
But it's that people, you know, we're going to find out that things were much worse. And I really do believe that Diddy was served to us on a platter, because they're a much bigger person. I don't think, well, okay, we're great that we're putting Diddy away, but we should be looking at the people who all these pervs who are creating Diddy's, Jay-Z's, you know, like R. Kelly's, because Diddy is just, you know, they always say cut the head of the snake, not just a little bit of it, you know, like you cut the head of the snake. Until these people who are creating the Diddy's, the Epsteins and stuff like that are completely put to jail, there's already another Diddy.
Well, here's the problem, right? So let's say that we're in Pizza Hut, right? And we're really angry, right?
Gwen Mendes.
Right. Let's say we're in Pizza Hut and we want to make a complaint. How difficult do you think it is before you get to the owner of Pizza Hut to make a one-on-one complaint? And then imagine that in a predatory cabal that owns Hollywood, the music industry, the media, and half the world through bloodlines that have existed for centuries. And the equation gets a bit mind-blowing because, to be honest, we're talking about something that's been around for thousands of years. They've learned all the lessons that they needed to learn about us, the freaking drones, okay?
Yes.
The sheep. They've learned all of these mistakes. And we're now a product of the most sophisticated version of these bloodline families. But no one could have anticipated the human race's reaction to the internet. No, I don't think anyone would have thought, 25 years ago that you can make a living from having your own show online, right? People would have been like, what are you talking about? And I think they underestimated that because we have united so much. There's a lot of division out there. And I would say to everyone, let's all say the bigger picture is keeping kids safe and eliminating abuse and horrific acts around the world. Let's put aside religion, let's put aside orientations and politics, and then see once all the PDF file cabal, evil, satanic people are done, you can all go Mad Max on each other, right? You can deal with it all then, argue it out. Do you know what I'm saying? Go bananas, okay? Purge, whatever you want to do. I'll even be part of it all, okay? All I'm saying is just we need to unite. And we need to focus on bigger pictures, not get bogged down on the tiny little things, and assess the headlines that we're getting drawn into. Because I suspect within the next month or two, we're going to see a huge, big revelation in the Diddy case that produces this witness that the media focus on. And then a month later, she's going to be declared a liar. And everything is going to be proven that she was falsifying all of her statements. And it's going to create this narrative now that anyone watching the Diddy case is going to doubt the level of it all, because that is a weaponizing narrative that will work for them. So just see, I mean, that's just my view.
But you're right, they're so comfortable.
Yeah,
they're so comfortable when you look at them, like when you look at the whole old lyric of PDD. How can he say that? Like when I need a girl, how he was talking about our Usher, now I can love you like a brother. Like they are so comfortable. They know their power. They know we don't really believe that they can be that twisted. They're gonna tell us what they do in their own song. That's kind of I find
just
that
like
creepy.
the Beyonce song we read before. Remember, Ron, when we read that? We read out that Beyonce song.
But here's the thing, Madgie, that's part of their design. They want it in our faces so they can laugh at us. You've got to understand. Like we assess a lot of things from a normal person, and then we try and amplify our thoughts to the darkest place we can imagine from a normal brain, which is about 5% of the reality of the darkness of someone who has lived this generationally. Okay. So when we talk about control, when we talk about having a collection of tapes of celebrities that have been abused while they're under the influence of substances, you have to understand that is a massive thing for all of these twisted individuals. And I think a lot of people write it off because they think, oh, why would they bother? You know what I'm saying? They've had the wild harams, they've had all the yacht parties, all this. They've gotten to a stage now where, because of the religious practices and the worshipping and the rituals they do, they've no good left in them. The passion's gone. Love has gone. Love is more powerful than anything else in this world, and these people are incapable of it. They have the people that torture animals and kill animals and all this stuff are born without the ability to love. These are the people they want on their side. We outnumber them in the billions. Okay. Trust me right now. Okay. If someone told us that we were all going to be going and building new pyramids and there's 6 big freaking mad intelligent alien people telling us what to do, 8 billion of us are kicking some ass. They might take out 500 million of us with their ray guns, but we're taking out some fucking eyes and antennas on the way, my G. I'm telling you that right now. Do you know what I'm saying? And when it comes to the cabal and keeping children safe and all the rest of it, we're at a stage where they're just baby farming their own shit. Okay, they are baby farming. They're weaponizing children who are raised to be these tools to ensure people do acts that are horrible on film for blackmail. And the twisted levels of all of this is too much for most to take. I describe it, Madge, as when you put your hand over a flame and your brain pulls your hand away. That's what PDF files, the topic of it is to most people, is like. They just wince back from it, and it's a natural reaction. I spent almost 7 years, Madge, on the dark web, infiltrating trafficking gangs, cartels, groups that abuse kids, families that abuse kids, shutting down their networks, putting them on the radar of police and Interpol, putting some people in jail, saving a bunch of children, and taking down these sites. And sadly, through my work and research, I've become a expert on the subcategories of PDF files, and it is fucking horrible. All right. And I'll reiterate this every time. I did this for 6 years. I have a special browser that doesn't show images. It doesn't show videos. It just presents the website coding and the text. Never seen any abuse material, never exposed myself to any of that. Had Police Scotland invited into my home to show them how I was going to do this before I started the channel.
Hey, just 1 second before I forget, whatever happened with the painter? We were going to do a follow-up.
Oh, we're going to talk about that right up next. There's no updates, but we're going to talk about that because we're talking about the royals and Diddy and all this. So let's talk about that. So I'm going to tell you a little story. This is a bit of a story time with Ron. I'll put my camera back on in a minute. So last year, a friend of the family, a friend of the channel, sorry, they're predator hunters, and they done a predator bust in Blackpool where they arrested a man who was a former paid associate of Prince Charles. We're talking in the palace, lived next door to Diana and the boys growing up, was best friends with the king's brother. We used to hang out with them and all the rest of it. He painted the painting for the coronation. He's got letters from the Queen. He's met the Queen. He's painted the Queen. We're talking about you could not be any more involved with the royals if you tried. Okay. And he was arrested for trying to solicit an underage boy by the sting operation group. They took away. Let me just tell you, if you were suspected of being a naughty person, Madge, and they took 18 mobile phones out of your house, would you not think to yourself, "Fuck, I should probably have a few less phones, right? That's a bit mad, right?" And the way that this has been handled is like no other case that this predator hunting group, who have got over 800 convictions, okay, basically, he's being given every privilege that no one else should have. He is being passed around in a way that allows him to still have access to the internet, still go home, do all of everything. And they're effectively just using the system to push his case around so that nothing happens. And I'm going to be honest with you, it is the only time a predator team has come to me with something where I felt if they go to get a parking ticket, right, and were arrested for being double parked or any of these stupid minor crimes, they'd be sent away for like 8 years. Do you know what I mean? They want this. They want her gone because she's too good. And now she's gotten onto a case that goes direct, and not a little bit, not like, oh, he was the milkman for Diana. He lived next door to Diana. He
babysat Harry and William.
Babysat Harry and William. That's the level of interactions we're talking about. Now,
and the sad part of Ron didn't know this, but this guy had contacted me and Dinah, and we both have charities with children and stuff like that, right? He even sent me paintings. He's an amazing painter. And Ron didn't know that. When the whole thing exploded, I talked to Ron about it. I said, "Did you see this, Ron? And this motherfucker sent me paintings and blah, blah, and really beautiful." And then Ron goes, "No way." And then I started giving him communications because he was talking to me on Instagram. And I said to Ron, he's out because he's sending me messages from another phone. And Ron goes, "No, they took him into questioning." I said,
there's no way. You don't release a child predator the same day to go back to use the internet.
No, and the police drove him back home. The police drove him back home.
Yep, the police drove him back home, which is not what they do either. What? So very suspicious. And again, when Paula, you can vouch for this, when the predator team were in his house, if you imagine Paula's wall behind her, imagine there being no space on the wall and there's hundreds of frames of paintings, literal handwritten letters from the Queen. Signed by the Queen, Charles, thanking him personally, from Diana, from Charles, from all these people. We're talking top dog. And he turns out.
Harry and Meghan had been to see him after the wedding.
You know, Do you know how many newspaper outlets covered the former king's advisor being caught as a child predator? One newspaper in the whole country, and it was a local paper from the town, the city that he was busted in for one day. Okay, so talk about controlling narratives.
And
talk about
it was Charles who hired him and who brought him into the royal family.
Yep, talks about Prince Andrew slapping him on the arse and asking him how his day goes. Oh yeah. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you.
I mean, they caught this guy with messages, with things sending to kids and stuff. I mean, they have the evidence, and yet after 4 hours, they drove him back to his house and apologized.
Listen,
he said, I was the one who told Ron, the guy is out.
Yeah,
he's sending me text messages, and Ron is like, no. And I sent him the screenshots and everything, and Ron was telling me, tell him this, tell him that. Blah, blah,
you know, we were talking about culture earlier. This is a case that opened my eyes to a project that I'm planning. I really want to do it, called Underage and Gay, right? About underage young gay men who don't realize that they could be in the hands of predators, because there seems to be a culture with young men that they can be sort of taught the way by an older gay person. And that's a whole culture none of us have an idea of. And I want to get a perspective from people who are, you know, older now and look back and see either a positive or negative effect from that. Because I think we could all learn a lot from a different perspective, especially when it comes to something like that.
Well, he used, let's be clear, because he got in with me and Pidina, because he showed us the letters from the Queen that not forged. He showed us pictures with him, and I'm like, okay, so he's legit,
dude. So until we found out
credentials with these young vulnerable kids, saying, you know what, I can get you with Charles, I can get you here, I can get you in the Princess Trust, I can get you in all of that. So he was offering them, and they're always disadvantaged kids, you know, who are desperate.
100%.
Dear Lord.
I mean,
they're so creepy.
And a percentage of them, it wasn't even like a percentage of them were underprivileged and vulnerable. A percentage of them were legitimately 15 and 14-year-olds who wanted guidance from an older gay man. And whatever way you frame it, right, that is child abuse. Okay, I don't care. Whatever way you look at it, child abuse.
Yes.
And
we should do a follow-up, because we didn't do a follow-up.
Oh, no, do you know why we're not doing a follow-up? Because we're not even at the point yet where she can release all of her stuff publicly, because they're still dicking around. This should have been wrapped up in a week.
Maybe if she releases it publicly, they will do something about it.
Well, no, because then they can throw the case out. They can throw the case out. That's the thing. If you don't know about predator hunting, if you go on a bust and you want results, you need to let the police deal with it before you info dump. You info dump once you've got your results. Otherwise, you can jeopardize through public opinion persuasion.
What do you think is going to happen to Diddy? Because he's eager to testify. This man is eager to understand.
I'll let you go on that, Madgie. What do you think? Do you think he's going to testify? Do you think he's working with the FBI? What do you think?
I think he would testify, because his ego will make him believe that he can get away with it, because he probably can give a lot of name. But if he continue in that way, he's going to be, like Nikki Stead says, Epstein. He's going to be Epstein. Like, it's a really bad idea to do it, but I think he's cocky enough and desperate enough to do it.
Let me rephrase the question. All right. Do you think Diddy has enough high-profile politicians, Arab princes, former diplomats, with enough evidence there that their concern of possibly a dead man's switch, where if something was to happen to him, all of this would just be released on public servers, like a big FU to the world from Diddy, right? Do you think the fear of that possibility is what's keeping him alive?
I think so, because, or maybe they hope that he's just going to be the sacrificial lamb and he's going to go silently, like R. Kelly, like just disappear. But if he wants to testify,
do you know, I think R. Kelly's entire filming of what he did in that hotel room was to run back to Diddy and go, look what I did, look what I did, look what I did. That's the vibes I get from it now.
Yeah, show off.
Yeah. 100%. It's like
That was a weekend viewing, the weekend boys' weekend,
Well, here's the thing. I think it was very important to keep the Diddy parties at the Diddy party, unless it's Diddy doing it himself, right? Everybody else needs to behave themselves. And I think R. Kelly took it upon himself to do what he's seen at a Diddy party in a hotel room and show it off to Diddy as like a look what I did. Look, I can do this too. It's fucking wild, man. Honestly, it's so dark.
Ron, when that tape of Diddy beating his ex-girlfriend came out,
yeah,
you would have thought that Hollywood would be outraged.
Do you know what the sad thing is, right? The sad thing is Hollywood ain't going to comment because Hollywood has known about this too long. This is the problem. Yeah. If Hollywood so much as farts the wrong way, everyone's going to turn on it. Do you see what I mean?
Hollywood needs to be destroyed. You know who they say it's one of the couples, because they said that one of the couples that it was with Diddy in one of those things, freak offs with a minor, is a Hollywood actor with his wife who has an Oscar, a couple of Oscars. That limits the amount of, and it's white. That limits. It's not one Oscar, but a couple, at least a couple. There's only a handful of white actors in Hollywood who is married and it's white and it's got a couple of Oscars at least. Yay!
Do you know, the Oscars is another one. That's one for another night. I think if we need to do some, and again, my thing is looking at data, and the Oscars is another interesting one because I'm sure if we looked into that, there's some interesting things that will pop up. I mean, I'm just sporadically speaking because that's a really good point about the Oscars. And I think a lot of these things, award ceremonies, these sort of declarations, and do you know what? I feel like it's getting eyes on you so that the people who are thanked, I want to thank Beyonce, I want to thank Jay-Z, I want to thank P. Diddy. It's almost like, when someone walks to an altar, have you ever seen the things that the people stand in front of at these shows? They look very similar. They look very similar to an altar. And if you imagine when you see in the movies a little lady going into the church and she lights her little candle and she gets down on her knees and she thanks her saviors, her lords. Now just apply the altar, the thanking to millions of people and imagine it as a ritualistic form of worship. That's the word, worship. Thank you. Because that's what it is. That's what I see. That's what I see.
I have a question for you both.
It's like PDD. He got a tattoo of a Asian voodoo priestess that caused the revolution in 80 and killed so many white people.
I have a question for you. You know that Beyonce has never won Album of the Year. This is why you get Adele crying, "Oh, you should have gone to you," or this other singers, "I should have been to Beyonce." Thank you, Beyonce, for what? It's not like she produced their album or anything. Do you think that was the music industry keeping Beyonce humble because she refused to do stuff for them? Because she never won an Album of the Year. Other people didn't. This is why we can't believe Beyonce hasn't won the Album of the Year. Could it be because this is the music industry's way of keeping her humble and saying, you know what, we're not going to give you one unless you do X, Y, and Z?
Or is it more beneficial to her as an alleged high priestess to get thanked than it is to receive a reward? Do you see what I'm saying? Because I agree with your point. It is very odd. So instead of us asking, is she not good enough? Let's ask, what would be the benefits from a witchy point of view to not getting an award, to just receiving thanks? Now, again, let's not even worry too much about that because it's a bit out there. But for me, I'm starting to see a lot of things differently. We've seen it after lockdown, this insane clamber for energy with a lot of these satanic looking concerts that went on. Look at Sam Smith. All of this madness is basically everybody being inside, nobody being able to do what they've been up to the extent that they were up to it. And they now need to mass harvest energy, devotion, in the same way as people worship their religious deity, Jesus, whatever. That is firing positive worship towards a deity. That is what these modern celebrities are doing through mass worship, and it's because of the internet, TV, all that stuff. It's amplified so much. And listen, tomorrow night I'm going to go through a live stream where I go over magic, rituals, energy harvesting, why children are used in these horrible sacrifices, and all of it, because I want to educate a lot of you who don't really know about this world. It would be the same way as if somebody was like, oh, I'm going to talk about the Jewish faith because I don't know anything about that. It's that, but my religion is all based around magic and witchcraft and all kinds of things. So
yeah, I'm from Haiti. The religion of my grandmother was voodoo.
Oh yeah, spicy.
Yeah.
And how bad a name does voodoo get, right? Like when
it does. Right? That's why I was saying the thing with PDD and his tattoo of the woman, that basically, because Haiti says that the reason why they got liberated, because it's the first slave country that was liberated, it was because of voodoo. They did a big ceremony at Bois Caïman, and they killed a lot of white people to do that.
Yeah. And modern voodoo still exists. All these things all still exist. And it's intention. It's intention. There's healing magic in voodoo as well. There's a lot of things in that religion.
They're good voodoo and they're bad voodoo.
It's not good and bad. It's intention.
No, there are people who sell their soul in voodoo and turn into
I get that, but in magic, those words are irrelevant. It's your intention. You have you have positive or negative intentions. Okay. And it's as simple as that. It's kind of exactly what you said there. It's good and it's bad, but that's not how it kind of works on the magical realm. It's all about your intention. Do you see what I mean?
It is.
So 100%, I get why a lot of these things get a bad name, because once the big three religions came out, everything that was a god before is now a demon. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's a madness.
Meghan is a demon.
No. In the world, there is good and bad. In the world, there is good and bad. In the world, there's good and bad. But when it comes to intention, through summoning, through magic, all of that stuff, your intention is what defines whether it's good or bad. Did you see what I mean? And good or bad is defined by, but good or bad is a modern concept. Over time, what's good and bad is shifted throughout the world. So it's a modern conception. So it's very deep. So don't just take it as surface level and just trust me on it. Okay, trust me. So
Ron,
anyway.
I'm gonna have to get going, but stay with Julie, with Madgie. Because I love it that you guys hit it off. Get her details after you finish the live. But I'm gonna get going. I guess I have to go back to the hospital. But thank you for having me, and I'll see you guys on Monday, because on Monday I don't have a treatment, so I'll be able to join you in the morning.
Yeah, love that. We'll see you then, Paula.
I'll be watching you guys. Please continue watching. Don't forget to click like, share, and subscribe. Bloody hell, you know. And Maggie, I hope you like Ron and give him help.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, no, she's our kind of people. I think you'd be a great addition to the panel each week if you've got time, Madgie. Like, honestly.
Yeah, that would be so nice. Thank you so much.
I'm volunteering for other days as well, Ron. I know. But details after the live, because she'd be great. She studied finance too. So she has a background in finance and stuff. So that's pretty cool.
Great. We can do fucking accounting live streams. That won't fucking bore everybody.
Well, we should do Archwell financial paper live stream. Like Paula knows a lot.
Listen. So all the accountants out there, whatever buzzwords you put into it, it's still accounting. All right. You get paid well. You're knocking it out the park. But my God, Sean is so intelligent when it comes to stocks and shares and stuff. He does live streams where he talks about how companies are in, vaccines and and I'm sitting there like I don't understand what is being said right now. So I would love to hear your Archwell take on it all, because I'm too dumb to know anything about what you're talking about, and I'm sure people would love to hear it. So 100%. Well, listen, we're coming towards the end, so now we can go rogue, Madgie. Right?
Let's go rogue.
Let's go rogue. So, what sort of brought you to YouTube, right? And as a creator, what direction do you want to go? Obviously, it looks like you are currently in a captive basement on a potato camera. Is it live streaming? Is it content? Like where do you see your what do you like the most?
Well, sincerely, for me, it's about holding the left accountable for what they're doing. Because
Okay.
I was a extreme left when I was younger, like didn't believe Johnny Depp, blah blah blah, a lot of things like that. And then I watched the trial of Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp, and that's when I learned that it was all a lie.
Yeah, okay.
That my ideology was like not what I thought. So for me, it's about when they use certain leftist idea to attack people. Now it's mostly attack white people. That's why I want to intervene, because I don't like bullying in any type
Yeah.
of way. So
Okay,
for me,
good.
it's all about
So
that.
that end part where you said you don't like bullies, that's the only part I fully understood. I can relate. I wanted to make camping videos and made camping videos for a couple of years, and then realized the PDF out madness on the dark web, and then went after them. My channel blew up, over 100,000 subscribers, and then I went after various CEOs and people in Hollywood, and YouTube said, "Nah, mate, you're bullying these people. We've got to remove your channel." Thanks, YouTube. Brilliant. So
Wow.
the reason I'm asking you is, if you're not doing lives, you definitely should, because you've got that, and you seem like you're like one of these people that can just sit and talk, but it's engaging. Do you know what I mean? So you should definitely consider that for sure. Right, what other crap can we fucking throw at you? Anybody got any questions? Anybody got any questions for Madgie? Let's ask her anything. Doesn't even have to be about the Royals. Let's see how uncomfortable we can make our guest for the first week.
You cannot make me uncomfortable. I have my alcohol.
Listen, YouTube, she did not mean that. That was a joke. It's Capri's
No, that
son.
was a joke. That was a joke.
It was just a joke algorithm. None of that existed in the world. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what? It's a bit mad that's the world we live in. Do you not think we're going to have a whole generation of kids that, if they just get educated in their news from YouTube, that things like PDF files and R words are going to trivialize the true horrors of what is being discussed? Or do you think that this generation's smart enough to know? To be honest, I've got a lot of hope for this up and coming generation, just for being difficult little bastards, that is going to work in their advantage when it comes to calling people out. Like, I think we've underestimated the sort of annoying questioning of everything that this new generation, in my opinion, seems to have. And I'm all for it. Like, my slogan on YouTube used to be question everything. So I'm down for
me. I agree. I have a lot of hope for the future generation, because they are able to find their news in different outlets. They don't have to just stick to CNN or Fox.
I agree.
They can go on different platforms, and they are more aware of horrible things, because let's say they are aware of grooming. Like, in my years, they didn't talk about grooming.
No, I agree. You know what's fucking terrifying, though? You know what's terrifying, mate? Do you know any of them that are studying to be doctors of that? Because apparently they're all just going to be on the internet making content. So I imagine the life expectancy of humans in the next 70 years is going to drop to about 40, right? Because there's about 9 doctors left, because everyone's on TikTok. Do you know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, all the money's going to dry up, because if everyone's just making content and no one's watching it, right? The whole system falls apart. Just in case anyone asks, YouTube's full now, all right? If anyone's ever thought about being a YouTuber, YouTube's full, mate. Okay.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Still now. All right. Sorry about that. Once a channel
question, yeah.
Once a channel's deleted, you can sign up, because it's a madness. It's a mad. Well, here's the thing. How long have you been on YouTube making content?
Maybe 6 months.
And how have you found it? And I take it you just went in as average human being, no experience. I'm just throwing myself into making content. How have you found it from just what I would refer to as an organic channel, where you've had no marketing, you've had no 50,000 followers on Instagram or anything like that? You've just gone in. How have you found YouTube supporting your content being out there? Do you find that you get any?
Not really. Like, I am growing slowly, It helps when I do collab, because then people can talk about my channel. But when you just started on YouTube, like, it's really hard to be put on the algorithm. So I like the fact that I can talk to a lot of YouTuber, because a lot of YouTuber are like really open to just like, you know, having conversations. So that's what I like really about YouTube.
Okay, well, how about this, right? We've got
Mm-hmm.
650 on YouTube, 521 on Twitter watching us now. You have got 3,500 subscribers. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Can we collectively over the next 24 hours get that up to 4,000 subscribers just from the people who are watching? It's 2 clicks. Look at our wee face. Look, how can you say no to that? Look at our wee face there. Look at that. She's all excited. she went full TikTok NPC there for like 5 seconds. All right. So just if you're watching this back or anything like that, the link will be in the description. If you're watching this now, just take a second. Just go over, click that subscribe button, and let's build this little channel up. She got a 7.2 for thumbnails on my thumbnail scale. So
Yeah.
that's pretty damn good. That's pretty damn good. So yeah, listen, when people give up their time, it's always good to try and, you know, give something back. And when you're on a royal show with a royal community watching, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that would be interested in listening to what you have to say. For sure.
Oh, thank you so much.
All right.
I just wanted to help with the because Meghan for me is really a big problem for the Black community, because I feel that she's making a mockery of racism and using it as a weapon against white people. And for me, I think that white, Black doesn't matter. We should all support each other against the Hollywood elite. They are the problem. We are not the problem.
But I don't think we'll ever fully see. Here's the thing, right? Every other race in the world gets to be have pride in their race. The Nazis fucked it for all of my race, completely fucked it. There'll be centuries before it's all right to have white pride, and it means nothing. It's just a dude proud of his race. They totally, because, and here's my analogy of this. There's a UFC fighter, a Mexican guy, absolute legend, and across his chest he has brown pride. And in my head, I imagine myself in his position walking into a ring with white pride across my chest. And I'm not making it to the ring, mate. I'm getting taken out the game. So yeah, there's my little analogy of that.
No, it's true. It's true. It's like Meghan can just go and people are willing to believe her because she's a mixed woman saying that white people are racist. So we don't even need to think about it. We're just supposed to believe that she's the victim. And that for me is a big problem. It's making it like it's gonna alienate white people, and then white people are not gonna believe if racism happened to Black people, and at the same time it dehumanizes white people as if they have no problem in the world. And I find that really, really, really disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you.
Hello, lady Letitia.
Like, I'm not a fan of all the isms, right? Like, I don't stand for it. I don't think it's funny. Do you know what I'm saying? I will say this though, right? I will say this. I do feel
Thank you, Elsie.
I do feel like music was made for everyone, okay? And I feel like if an artist has some words that can't be said in a song, and I'm alone by myself, okay, I'm singing the song, right? I'm singing.
Yes,
the song, okay?
yes.
All right. Would I do the same thing, right? In like the West End hip hop bar in Ibiza? No.
For your safety, do not.
Because they're not going to listen to my argument about, hey, listen, the artist wanted this to be for everyone, right? No, because I'm not a dumbass. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just can't deal with the homophobicness, the transphobicness, the racism, the fucking anything.
I hate all of them, and I hate that it's going against white people now, and that we're supposed to act as if that is acceptable. I want everyone to be equal. We need to all be equal so that we have all the same right. I know it's really optimist and everything, but for me that's the point. I don't want white people to be attacked, and what I hate is that Meghan Markle made a mockery of the UK's culture. She acted as if the culture was a joke, like when she did the curtsy. But because it's a white culture, we find that okay. But when she went to Nigeria and she was wearing her little like dress, suddenly that was a problem. Yeah, no, I think every time she she lacks respect for any culture. That's a problem. And it's not because it's a white culture that we should not respect that culture. That's my big problem with it.
I get you. For me, my main focus, right, and this isn't taking away anything from what you're saying. It's just it's interesting because you're bringing a new dynamic to the panel. For me, I'm looking at the data of what countries she's going to, how many international trade deals are being made, and is the real threat to them, Madgie. I asked this to a lot of people. If you went to Nigeria and then the following week there was a $7 or $6 billion trade deal for signed, and you as Harry had been around the world rubbing shoulders with people and handing out contracts that divide up that 6 or 7 billion, and other individuals who were expecting to be part of that contract who've now lost out on billions of dollars, I think those are the real dangers to Meghan and Harry, if you see what I'm saying. Because you piss off a lot of people and you start talking about billions, I think we're going to start to see a very, very interesting side of not just the royals, Meghan and Harry, but a whole possible them being used as pawns for a bigger picture. Yeah. There's a reason they're still on the website. There's a reason that they still got their royal connections, and that's where my head's at. So I'm a very uneducated on a lot of the other issues. For me, it's I like the story behind the story behind the story, if you know what I mean. And Lady Letitia.
Well, when you look at Archewell financial paper, you can see that most of the money is going into fighting social media.
Oh, do you know what?
Making report against Elon Musk, saying how we should, what tools we need to have, because we cannot understand what words are, and we need to have certain words so that we can make sure that we understand what they want us to understand.
How about this, Madgie? How would we put a pin in that one, and next Friday we focus entirely on this quest for their social media campaign behind keeping kids safe, because you're talking to somebody who got Snapchat to nationally apologize for their child filter. It went my review of it went completely viral. 3 national newspapers, all this kind of stuff, and this whole system that's in play with the keeping the kids safe. It is the biggest load of nonsense. I can tell you now how we can keep and solve all these problems. We'll do it next week though, because that is something I think is going to be a good one to do, because I've got a rich background in this. This is the thing that they're pushing. You seem passionate about it. Do you know that Lady
I love reading their financial paper. It says a lot.
Do you see how Lady Letitia's hair and nails match the color and the tiles in her bathroom? So
I live in a cupboard and you live.
Listen. Every time she changes her hair, she makes her husband retile the whole bathroom so that it matches. This is like the third shade gone through.
Loves messing with me.
Listen. Show your nails off, and then imagine typing.
Ooh, they're nice.
Oh, they're new ones.
Yes, I got spiders.
Is that like for Halloween? I can see like spiders and stuff.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Beverly Hills Housewives? You ever seen Beverly Hills Housewives? Lady Letitia lives it. Okay, she lives that shizzle. Okay, you should see her nails sometimes. Personally, if bodies start turning up in her state full of like punctured holes, like look like finger marks, I think we'll know what's going on. Because I'm telling you now, it's. I had a Halloween one year where I stuck these claws on my fingers, and I kept banging the nails off stuff, and the glue attached to the nail would obviously sort of move and pull my nail up, and I'm like, how can you have fake nails on and deal with that? But listen, fabulous. We got it. Love the nails. Love it all, Lady Letitia. Well, listen, we've hit the 2-hour mark. We've hit the 2-hour mark. We're going to do another 10 minutes because of the wonderful Lady Letitia making it back. We've invited Madgie back to be part of the panel on a Friday because we think our dynamic is awesome. And we're going to try and get her a minimum of 400 or 500 subs over the next 24 hours. Don't let me down, community. Okay. We've got a Discord.
Thank you, everyone.
We've got a Discord as well. And if you ever want to branch out into true crime or talk about anything that's, elitist and is maybe off, too far from the royals, but you still want to come and talk about it, just let me know. And it's always fun as well to tell Lady Letitia you're doing a normal live stream and then talk about PDF files for 2 hours straight and just watch it. So, yeah, that was Lady Letitia thought she was coming on a Sean Atwood stream, and she was coming on a stream on my channel, and I'm very different on my channel, very different. Yeah, like, yeah, none of them get monetized. There ain't no monetization after one of my live streams, man. There ain't none of that. I get very carried away. And listen, if you've made it to the end, thank you very much for sticking with us and being here to the end. Please like and share and subscribe. I just want to say thank you to everyone who supports a royal mess. The numbers that we had this evening are awesome. You know, there was like 600 or 700 of yous on YouTube. There was another 600 or 700 of yous on Twitter, and a few across the other platforms. 1,500 across all platforms. That is you awesome. Telling me you love this, and we will keep it going. What might happen is a royal mess might be starting an hour earlier. Okay, it's doing a 2-hour show until 9:30, and I'm trialing a new show tomorrow night, which is a whole new dynamic for the Sean Atwood channel. It's a whole new type of show. You're still getting all of your soul-destroying nightmare content up until 10 o'clock, and then we're going to end the week every week with something fun. I've got a musical artist called Hard Target coming on. We've got some guests. It's going to be a whole thing. We're going to do some fun interactions with you guys, and I need you guys to all be there. Okay, the boss has left me in charge and told me to make this a success, so be there. Otherwise, you're going to make me look like a dick. Okay? Okay? Listen, I don't fucking ask for much, man. I ask you to click on a subscribe button and share some shit. Okay, but please don't let me down tomorrow. Okay, cancel whatever you're doing. I don't care. The boss is, listen, this is his words. You're in charge. Okay, make sure you smash it. Sound. So listen, cancel your shit tomorrow and make sure you're here all day. Okay, and go and get all the tablets and all the old phones, plug them in, charge them up, make them all watch too. Okay, be like, look like one of those like Chinese scammer call centers where you've each got 47 mobiles and you're doing all that stuff. Just do that. And thank you for the side chat. I just want to say, we welcome people disagreeing, pushing back, questioning everything in a constructive manner. I hate the concept of an echo chamber. So know that if you're respectful, you're always welcome, and we want, you know, people to ask questions. All right, I'm going to go now. It's really warm in this little cupboard for some reason tonight.
I need to take my dog out anyway.
Yeah, no problem. Listen, you're on a boat somewhere.
Great show, guys.
I'm not on a boat. I put it because I was surfing with Prince Harry.
No, listen. Nobody is associating a fucking sailing hat with surfing. Like, we get it. We're both in the ocean, okay? But I'm just saying, there's a different. I mean, find me one picture of a surfer with that hat on. That's all I'm asking.
I'll be the first.
Do you know what? You're trend setting. I get you now. Exactly. This is how every surfer's gonna look. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so don't leave, Madgie. Don't leave once the show ends, because we need to get WhatsApps and stuff like that. So don't leave.
Yeah.
Lady Letitia, you're going to do the outro.
I want to say thank you to the side chat for supporting us. Thank you so much. You guys are so awesome. Without you, we wouldn't exist. So we do appreciate you so much. And we want to thank the lovely Black Owl for being here and gracing us with her beautiful presence. Thank you so much. And Ron, as always, you do a wonderful show. What a wonderful show.
Do you know, I don't even think I could get away with calling myself Ron the White Owl. Do you know, I think even that in today's society would be too much. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think the world's even ready for that yet. Okay? It's
not yet,
just saying. Listen, I love you all. You nailed the outro there, Letitia. Thank you all for being here. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. Don't go anywhere after the show, because I need to get details. Not you, the public. I'm talking directly to Madgie here. Don't be sitting here for 5 hours. Like, do you know, before we end the story, because it's side rants, a friend of mine, his dog was so obedient that one day he came home from school and he told the dog to sit. And then he left the house and came back, and the fucking dog is still sat exactly where he was told to sit, just shaking on the spot. And yeah, that is a sad. Yeah, it's sad. I don't even know why I even told you that. That's fun way to end the show at all. But you know, if you do have a dog and you tell it to sit and then you piss off out all day, just you know, tell it to go lie down or something. I don't know. We're waffling. Love you guys. Like, subscribe, share. Peace. Love you all. Peace.